Now, injuries are very prevalent and occur quite frequently in the world of professional wrestling. And unfortunately, injuries have halted or cut short quite few WWE superstar careers in the past. And this will continue to happen in the future because even though WWE is scripted and the match results are predetermined, the action scene between the ropes is very grueling on the body, and lots of the moves WWE wrestlers perform are high risk, with injury being a legitimate possibility every time a superstar sets foot inside the ring. Now, there are injuries every year in WWE, but the severity of each injury can vary quite greatly, with some injuries being relatively minor and that the WWE superstar can return to action after a few months on the sidelines to heal up and undergo any medical procedures to fix their injuries. But on the other hand, every once in a while, a WWE superstar suffers an injury too serious, which can force that said wrestler into an early retirement. And sadly enough, two major WWE superstars have suffered such injuries recently, both last year in 2022. And in today's video, we'll be delving deeper into the two major WWE superstars who will likely never wrestle again in WWE. Number 2, and the reason all of you guys clicked on this video, the Viper, Randy Orton. Randy Orton has sadly been on the shelf and away from WWE since May of last year, because as many of you are likely aware, Randy Orton suffered a serious back injury and was immediately removed from WWE television. And fans were left wondering firstly how severe Randy Orton's back injury was, and the general timetable for when Randy would be medically cleared by WWE doctors to return. Prior to his injury, which forced Randy Orton to step back and leave WWE, Randy was amidst a high-profile storyline with Riddle and their RK Bro tag team, while they were dominating the tag team division in WWE up until Randy's injury. Most fans fully expected WWE to eventually have Randy Orton and Riddle break up and engage in a rivalry with one another, and if Randy had stayed healthy, that breakup of RK Bro would have likely happened either in late 2022 or early this year, leading up to the Showcase of the Immortals, with most feeling like that huge Randy Orton versus Riddle matchup would have taken place at WrestleMania 39 this April. However, Randy's untimely injury put a halt to those plans, and Riddle has basically broken all ties with Randy Orton on WWE television, which sent a strong message to fans that Randy Orton's injury was a lot worse than anyone could have imagined. And that's exactly true. At the time, it was speculated online in the wrestling community that Randy Orton would be out of action from WWE for the rest of 2022, and that Orton could have been brought back to television sometime in 2023. But we're now almost 3 months into the new year, and there has unfortunately been no good news to share regarding Randy Orton's WWE status and when he would be returning. Instead, many within WWE were growing in concern that Randy Orton's back injury may actually be career-ending, and not something that the Viper will simply be able to return from. There is sadly still no timetable on Randy Orton's WWE return, and new rumors are going around that Randy Orton may be forced into what most would feel is an early retirement, with Randy Orton quietly retiring after suffering this potentially career-ending back injury in May of 2022. And if Randy was to retire, he would be ending his in-ring wrestling career at 42 years of age. With that said, Randy Orton has had an incredibly long and illustrious career in WWE. So while many fans wanted to see that storyline play out on television of Randy Orton feuding with Matt Riddle for WrestleMania, or for Randy Orton to eventually have another reign as world champion, at this point, Randy has already accomplished everything possible in WWE, and anything more at this stage is really just extra. Randy Orton is set for life financially, and this may be one of the reasons why Randy Orton is considering an early retirement and deciding not to risk his health by returning to the ring from this serious back injury. WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long shared his opinion on Randy Orton's status in WWE back in December, and clearly Teddy Long doesn't want Randy Orton to make the wrong decision of forcing a return. Here's what Teddy had to say. Quote, "Randy Orton, a good friend of mine too, had a lot of great times with him there. I just hope Randy makes the right decision, you know? There are a lot of people like Edge, Kurt Angle, that said that they wouldn't come back once they found out they had injuries and the doctors told them it'd be dangerous for them to return to the ring. And they came right back. Teddy Long finished by saying this about Randy Orton, basically why Randy should be listening to his doctors regarding his back injury. Quote, "So I just hope Randy does the right thing. If the doctors tell you to stay out of the ring, I suggest you stay out of the ring, not just deliberately hurt yourself. But it's still about the money, man." It seems probable that Randy Orton has decided to retire from WWE and will not be returning to wrestle once again. And this leaves the question, what's next for Randy Orton in WWE? Would he simply retire and ride off into the sunset, or would he have some kind of different job or role within the WWE? Well, like many other WWE superstars who were forced into an early retirement, especially a legend like Randy Orton, who has valuable experience in WWE and immense knowledge of the business, there are rumors that Randy Orton will be transitioning into a backstage producer role behind the scenes, and also helping train some of the WWE's future superstars at the Performance Center in Florida, and helping not only with in-ring stuff, but promotions and character development aspects as well. So the bottom line is that while Randy Orton may be done inside the ring, he will still be working for WWE in some way again, likely as a backstage producer and coach. Number 1. Big E. Now, another major WWE superstar who most likely will not be wrestling again in WWE after suffering a severe injury is former WWE World Champion Big E. The former champion Big E has been out of action from WWE indefinitely following a serious neck injury, which Big E Langston suffered from back in March of 2022, following a SmackDown tag team match between Big E and Kofi Kingston against Sheamus and Ridge Holland that saw a huge botched move, a belly-to-belly suplex to be exact, between Ridge Holland and Big E. Much like Randy Orton, many within WWE are fearing that Big E's neck injury will be a career-ending one, and Big E himself has stated in the past that he had no plans of rushing anything. And this if his WWE career was essentially over. He would be at peace with the reality and would make the right decision. Unfortunately, as of right now, things don't appear very positive regarding Big E's injury status, and it's looking more and more as though Big E will not be returning to wrestle again, and will unfortunately be retiring early at 37 years of age. Now, unlike Randy Orton, who already accomplished everything there is to do in WWE, many fans wanted to see Big E get another reign as WWE Champion, and that overall Big E had a lot more that he was capable of achieving in WWE if given the chance. So this may end up being quite a big what-if situation with Big E Langston. However, for Big E himself, it may not be the worst thing if his in-ring career is coming to an end a bit sooner than it would have, because in past interviews, Big E stated that he had wanted to retire by the age of 35, and while Langston simply changed his tune since and felt like he had a few more good years left in him, Big E may sadly be forced into a retirement at 37, which is truly unfortunate news to say the least. Let's hope that Big E will have a new role or job in WWE waiting for him if he won't be returning to the ring to wrestle again.